Hello, good evening. Happy Wednesday. Hey, Eya. Nako, sobrang saya ni Eya. Nakasmile lang siya. Paano ba yan? Okay, magandang gabi po sa lahat ng ating... Yes, Eya. Kaya natin yan. Kaya natin yan. Ito po ay isang patunay na hindi pa po handa ang Pilipinas para mag-online classes. Nakikita niyo po? Kasi yung internet po natin ay hindi stable. So sana po i-move na lang po ng DepEd. Eh, si Eya, nasa Metro Manila na yan, tapos ganyan pa yung internet. Paano pa kaya sa mga probinsya? Anyway, welcome po sa daldalang walang curfew, usapang hindi nala-lockdown. Ito po ang QuaranTalk. Yes, maya-maya, babalik sa atin si Eya dito. Siya ay mananalangin lang para syempre mas maging maayos po ang ating internet. Pero as much as possible, we will be speaking English tonight because we are also live in several countries such as India, Nepal, and Vietnam. Because today we are celebrating the International Youth Day, and true to the name international, we are going international tonight. So pardon my English tonight. I really try my best to speak English all throughout. Okay. So our friends in Vietnam, India, and Nepal would be able to understand everything that we will be talking about tonight. Okay, so for first stop, we will be talking about the latest news. Okay, hanap lang din ako ng panyo. Duduguin na ilang ko. Anyway, okay, dito na pala tayo. Okay, so our latest COVID numbers for tonight. Here we go for today. I mean, okay, our total cases is active cases is at 72,348. Our total cases is at 143,749. And our death toll is at 2,404. We have 93 additional deaths just for today. And for the total cases, that's 4,444 cases additional just for today. And our total recoveries, we have an additional 636 recoveries for a total of 68,997. Globally, okay, so we have reached, as of the 10th, on Monday, we have 19.7 million cases worldwide already. But later on, we'll be giving you more updates. Eya, hello Eya, welcome back.
Hi everyone! Welcome to daldalang walang curfew, guys.
Ayan.
Happy International Youth Day to you.
Happy
I'm sorry, I need to
International Youth
pronounce
Day. Nako, Eya,
it.
sinabi ko kanina, we'll try to speak English all throughout because we are live in India,
Correct.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
and Nepal. So, I'll get my hanky because,
Oh,
bleeding.
wait. I think you've been speaking in English since this afternoon. You've had several speaking engagements. So before we go to the meat of our discussion this evening, let me just ask you first, how's your day like with the International Youth Day celebrations happening left and right, and you've been up since early morning preparing?
Yeah, 8
What
a.m.
what
Yeah,
are your engagements today?
you know what? Compared to the previous IYDs, because in previous IYDs, obviously all events are physical events. So usually you can only pick one or two events for the whole day. But for today, I think this is my fifth engagement already or sixth engagement already. But it's been fun engaging with different sectors. And now, as I mentioned, it's all about International Youth Day. And true to the name, we are going international.
Mm-hmm. Right. And which is why tonight we'll be joined by several of our friends from different parts of the Asia Pacific. But before that, Jules, let's go to our next segment, which is the current trends.
All right. So for our trending today, Aya, obviously, it's IYD 2020. So far from your lens, Aya, how's IYD 2020 for today?
I think this is very special this year. The IYD this year is very special because we see a lot of young people really mobilizing and doing their best, considering the circumstances. We're all quarantined in our homes. The others are maybe sharing their spaces with the others, but what we see is a very active youth from different parts of the world holding online discussions, online activities, everything that they can do online. I believe you featured earlier this morning or afternoon some activities lined up for of young people.
Yes.
I also picked at least six engagements for today from 10 a.m. to well to tonight. So there are a lot of discussions on the Sustainable Development Goals, which is great. Also on nation building, Philippine Youth Development Plan in the Philippines, right? And yeah, so I believe that this is a testament that young people were able to find ways to connect and to join the discussions despite the restrictions that we have in our respective localities. How about
Right.
you? What's your takeaway from your engagements today?
I think one of my takeaways is, well, from my engagement with YT earlier. This is the perfect time when we are forced to reimagine our strategies during this
Mm.
time, because obviously most of our organizations usually implement activities on the ground or with the communities, but right now we are forced to suddenly change our strategies in order to continue with our mandates and our plans, even though most most of us are experiencing restrictions and limitations in doing our events. But in line with the SDGs, with the Sustainable Development Goals, for the information of everyone, the SDGs, or the Sustainable Development Goals, is a set of 17 global goals that are agreed upon by all countries that are members of the United Nations. And by 2030, it's like a set of 17 dreams, and by 2030 it should be a better world for all of us. Unfortunately, this 2020 is supposedly a victorious year because we are welcoming the SDGs with a decade of action, but we have the COVID pandemic. So we see it as a challenge, just a hurdle, just an obstacle before we proceed with our battle plan for the SDGs.
Right. And with that, Jules, let's now hear from more voices. Let's broaden our perspective on the experiences of young people from different parts of the world. So let's now go to our next segment, Quarantink.
All right. So for Quarantic, as mentioned, we are focusing on the efforts of our several friends and fellow SDG advocates in the Asia Pacific, not only in the ASEAN, but in the entire Asia Pacific. So we have invited Eya. Let's introduce them.
Right. So we have invited some of the representatives of several chapters of the 2030 Youth Force in the Asia Pacific. We have with us, let's start with Min from Vietnam.
Hey, Yen. Happy
Yeah,
IYD.
hello everyone. I'm so excited for
Hi.
today. Happy what?
Yeah.
I want to also.
Thank you for joining us. Next, we have Keshav from India.
Keshav, namaste.
Namaste, guys. Happy International Day. Happy International Youth Day. Yeah.
I love the background. Great. Next, we have Sabrina from the Philippines.
Mabuhay.
Hello, good evening. Happy International Youth Day.
Yeah. All right. And then we have with us Shreya from Nepal.
Shreya, namaste. We can't see you yet.
Hey,
Yay!
hi, happy International Youth Day, guys.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay,
So,
so guys, welcome to the QuaranTalk. So for the information of our viewers, Eka and I are also part of the network, the 2030 Youth Force in the Asia Pacific. So obviously, we are from the Philippines, but there is a regional council level as well. So we have chapters in Cambodia, in China, in India, Indonesia, Mongolia, Nepal, Philippines, and Vietnam. So if you have friends in other countries who are interested to launch their own youth force in their country, let's talk after this. Maybe we could encourage them, guys. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with a basic question for tonight. How are you guys celebrating the International Youth Day in your countries? Let's start with Vietnam. Parang Miss Universe. Miss Universe Miss World. So let's start with Miss Vietnam. How's International Youth Day?
Okay, so we actually prepared for the International Youth Day like a week ago. And for our chapter in Vietnam, like we actually try to go out, and it's not like going out all the time, but also like asking our chapter members to record themselves and ask them about like how they think about IYD, and also like what they can do to support the International Youth Day. And that video would be uploaded on our Facebook chapter, like I think at around like 9 p.m. something. So I hope that you guys gonna go and like it. But besides that, we also like try to encourage people to engage in the International Youth Day by doing some small things like just going outside. And I mean, like in the pandemic, we cannot go outside that much. But if they go outside, don't use plastic bag, don't use like plastic stuff. Like also we have a challenge for them to live green. Like if they can do something to make the world greener, they can like take photo and then send it to it, and we can upload on our Facebook page so everyone would know that we are trying to live green together. So that's what we are doing for the IYD.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Vietnam. How about for you, Keshav, in India?
So yeah, this year it's quite completely different. What happened last year? Last year it was more of like a physical gathering. So yeah, it's all virtual, and trying to showcase our virtual activism through different means, like going to live, like for today, QuaranTalk, and using different posts, engaging youth, motivating them. That's all. That's all from my side. Yes.
Thank you so much. How about for Nepal, Shreya?
I'm celebrating this International Youth Day with you guys. I think that's the strongest thing that I've done so far, since we are live in so many countries and with this page as well. Many youths are seeing us. So happy International Day to all the people out there who are watching us right now. And in the context of Nepal, we have been interacting virtually due to this pandemic, as we are doing all. So we have been conducting webinars, and we have been conducting online discussions, chats with our team members, and our way forward for the International Youth Day, and with the theme to engage the youths. So we have been doing online campaigns on mental health, and yeah, this is all we have been doing right now.
Thank you so much, Shreya, for that. Of course, from the Philippines, Sabrina.
Hi, good evening. So for today, we have compiled some of the initiatives and projects from our different partners, and of course, we encourage our member advocates to join. And tonight, actually, for our member advocates as well, we had our Advocacy Wednesdays, which is kind of like a virtual hangout session for other people to share their initiatives that they work on. So,
Okay, thank you so much for that. So this is more on a personal level. So you guys, as youth advocates and very active in your communities, how have you been surviving so far the pandemic inside your houses, despite the limitations and restrictions? Let's begin with you again, from Vietnam.
Okay, so I think like our Vietnamese people are a little bit luckier than other countries, because
Oh
we
yeah,
have like
that's clear.
3 months something like COVID free. So we have been like going outside, doing some gathering events, and even like training events for our member organization as well. So we're a little bit luckier. But because like during this social distance time, we are still trying to survive at home, so stay at home, cook as much as possible, although many people don't like to cook that much. And also we trying to encourage other youth to live happily during the pandemic, because what I believe is that we are youth, we love going outside, we love meeting people, but because of the COVID-19, we cannot go out anymore, so many people feel bored. But for our chapter 2030 Youth Force Vietnam, we also upload a kind of like list what you should do during the quarantine time, or what you should do during the social distance time, and we're trying to encourage other people. So since I'm engaging to do that stuff, I feel much more like happy than ever before, because I'm still at home, but I can still doing something for the society.
Okay, thank you so much for that. How about for India, Keshab?
So yeah, due to sudden lockdown, so there were many migrant laborers who have to go back to their villages and cities. So for them, we have initiated a donation drive. So that was first of our initial step to tackle this pandemic. And after that, we initiated some mental health session, because one of our co-committee member is counseling psychologist, and then certain webinars, and recently we have done the virtual summer school, which is like learning online stuff. So we have collaborated with Youth Collab, UNDP Asia Pacific, and the UNV India. So yeah, in there we have around 25 to 30 young students from high schools. So yeah, these kind of initiative we have took in 2030 Youth Force India. Yeah.
Thank you, Kachab. Sabrina, how have you been?
I've been doing okay naman. There's just a lot of donation drives also going on. So in 2013, first in the Philippines, we also try to give those donation drives a platform. So we share these donation drives and compile them. And also since a lot of the initiatives that we have in our chapter are mostly community work, it's been a struggle to adjust to online platforms. So what we've been doing the past few months is to figure out how to bring our initiatives online. So that's mostly through webinars, and we've had a lot of those past few months.
Thank you, Sab. Shreya, how are things in Nepal?
It's been quite good now, but since the lockdown has been open in many of the districts of Nepal, so cases have been rising. So till dates, we have 91 deaths, and recovery cases are also going on. But we have a peak number around 24,000 of COVID cases. So not so any on-field, on-site activities have been carried out from this chapter, but we have been collaborating with other youth-led partners, with youth-led organizations, and women human rights activists, and various other platforms with UNDP as well for Before Action and other survey materials. So we have been doing quite fine, and we have been assessing people's information, particularly those from marginalized populations, and including in the deprived ones as well. So we have been a partner, or we have been, let's say, a supporting hand for surveys as well, for research and for raising youth awareness, and partnering with the other youth-led organizations. So so far we have been conducting our activities online. So yeah, we are quite fine, but hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, before we
That,
proceed to the next question, let's just read some of the comments, especially this one. We have a comment from Emilia Asadova. She is like the mom of the youth force, because she was there when the youth force was launched in Bangkok way back in that was June 2016. So she's from UN Volunteers Asia Pacific. Hello, Mommy Emilia. Thank you so much for your support. She said, happy IYD 2020 to all, and keep up the youthful spirits, bravery, and new ideas. So keep on commenting here, and we'll try to flash your comments along the show. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So let's just also give a shout out to the different youth force chapters in the Asia Pacific, and also to Ben and Linka of UNDP Asia Pacific for always supporting the youth, the 700 million youth that we're trying to mobilize. Also, right. So let's go back to the discussion. How what were the challenges that you've seen, you've heard, you've witnessed, or maybe experienced yourselves? What were the challenges of young people, especially in this pandemic, in your respective countries? Let's start with maybe Kashav from India.
So yeah, uh, so I think when we say youth, the first thing comes in my mind is energy, and make youth sit in homes and houses. It's how to say, dangerous. So yeah, the first challenge that I personally face, is to be in my own home. So that's what I think usually many of our youngsters face. And second is I think many of our youth are being cut out of education institutes, and even some of the youth got stuck in different cities and different countries also. I supposed to, me and Jules supposed to travel to Germany. So before that, pandemic got hit, and then uh, yeah. So I think these are the basic challenges youth face, and even mental health issues. Even I think almost for a week, I was quite not in a good situation. So yeah, and then I thought like, okay, let's move to my friend's house and have some fun there. So yeah, I think mental health issues and even education and all these things got challenged because of this pandemic.
Right. So there's education, there's mental health issues, and also the mobility in this pandemic. A lot of people have been stuck in different places. Thank you, Kashav, for sharing. How about for the others? What were your experiences like? Shreya, you want to go next?
The main challenges during this pandemic is, as cases have mentioned, about mental health. Yes, the youths in Nepal as well are down with their energies, and since we all are in, not particularly now, but before for 74 days in context of Nepal, so we were all, first we're finding out, okay, it's fine, we're counseling each others even in the chat groups with families and all. But after the days continued and it became longer, the main challenge is that people, particularly young people, faced is of mental health problems. So they were not able to express themselves, their energy was so conserved, they were not able to express it, they were not able to make it more productive in a way we used to do previously. So around 40%, 40.8% in Nepal makes up a population of 60 to 40 years. So these populations are more into anxiety, stress, depression, and other mental health issues. So for me, I think not only COVID-19 is pandemic right now, but also mental health. It's becoming pandemic, and we all are facing some sorts of mental health issues and problems all around. So in context of Nepal, one of the major challenges that we have been facing, and hopefully, let's hope for the best. As I said earlier, we can tackle and we should tackle this problem.
Yeah, you know
Mhm.
what? Yeah, I certainly agree with that. The issue on mental health could be a universal one, especially during this pandemic, because um maybe due of the uncertainties of the pandemic, like right now we're still not sure if there's a cure already. Well, there's a news already about a vaccine, but everything about the progress in several countries, it's not really doing good. So yeah, it's really been affecting the mental health of many of our youth sector and even other sectors as well. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. And so aside from the other basic needs that families need right now, education is really a challenge these days. There's also that psychosocial need that we have to address, especially among young people. Thank you for Shreya for also stressing that as seconding Keshag's insight that it's actually even you can consider it a pandemic if a lot of people are really experiencing it in different places, different countries. Sab, how what's your perspective with about the challenges of young people these days?
Mhm. Since a lot of the initiatives, activities are now online, I think one of the main problems that a lot of young people face is actually connectivity.
There, connectivity issues. Sam, okay, that's a really good testament to the connectivity issues that people are facing.
And she's
Um,
back.
but Sam, go ahead.
Connectivity issues.
Right.
Yeah, so that's really one of the main barriers, just continuing off where I left off. And also, like it was already mentioned a while ago, is the uncertainty of what is going on around the world. Since we've also been on lockdown for so long here in the Philippines, so it's hard to think about what's going to happen next because we're all just in this kind of limbo on what's happen in the next few days. So.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. So for this International Youth Day, the theme is youth engagement for global action, right? And as part of the growing Youth Force Asia Pacific family, all of you are part of this network. So since August 6th, right, we've been posting your several milestones and activities of each national chapter on the main page of the Youth Force Asia Pacific. So could we go back and maybe share to our audience right now what were the activities that your national chapter has been doing for the past for this year or even for the past years? Let's start
Well,
with yeah.
yeah. Let's just go to Vietnam first. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry we weren't able to
Oh
call
yeah.
her. So yeah, feel free to share any of your insights about the challenges of young people in Vietnam and also what your chapter is doing or has been doing. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, yeah, about the challenge, I think one of the challenge that we are facing for youth, especially like social organization, is that there's some kind of event that we plan to do, but then because of the COVID-19 thing, we are like, how can we do it and how can we adapt the situation? So I think that is the biggest challenge for all the social organization and also like for our chapter as well, because we actually had a kind of like youth leader camp idea that we plan to execute like on March of 2020. But then because of the lockdown and the social distancing, we cannot do that. So it was like whether we should bring it online or whether should we try to push it back, so postpone it a little bit, and we can do it on site. But at least I think for Vietnam, we are very lucky because after like May 2020, we don't have any other like COVID cases. So we can came back to a normal life, and we were lucky enough to execute our youth leadership camp online, offline with everyone from different regions of Vietnam. So that is also one of the things that we have been doing. But during the lockdown, regarding the connectivity and also like working on the internet, I think like I agree with Sab and many other ideas from you about mental health and stuff like that. But I think there's another challenge would be about how we can work together like totally online, because we cannot go out, we don't have offline meeting, and we still want to execute something that benefits the youth in the region, or at least in our country, Vietnam. So it had been quite difficult for us to connect with each other, but we will still manage to launch a kind of like youth leadership platform in which we would gather a lot of like youth leaders or any like young people who have the energy and passion to do for the society. So with that youth leadership platform, we has been able to share with like youth leaders what kind of way you can do to adapt um, to this situation and stuff like that. So and also like we also try to collab with like the UNDP and UN in Vietnam to execute some live session and webinar. So I think like aside all the challenges, I think we have learned a lot and we're still able to do something. So I think like we're still energetic enough during the pandemic though.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Correct.
Min.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keshav, how about you?
I think that I'm done with that, isn't so?
No.
The question was about challenge, right?
The question is about the milestones of India so far. That
Ah,
yeah, go ahead.
oh, sorry. Okay. So yeah, so the very first initiative we took right after the uh, this pandemic, we got to know about that is of course donation drive and the mental health gathering. Uh, so that's one of two of the things we have done. And then if I'm not wrong, we did the UNFPA campaign, Youth Against COVID-19, right? So it was all of us who did that. So in India, this was actually we try to do it very inclusively and with our goal to no one leaving behind. So we tap in around 13 languages, okay, regional languages in India, and more than how to say 20 states. So that was something that we exclusively try give our best to tap in as much youth as possible. So they made the videos, they learn about what was COVID-19 is, and they aware the other peer group as well. And then comes to this solidarity campaign by UNSDG Action campaign, right?
Right.
So this even that campaign we did, it's all online. And then as I mentioned, the virtual summer school. So virtual summer school was something kind of a flagship event for 2030 Youth Force. We collaborated with Youth Collab and UNV and even Africa Asia Youth Foundation. So yeah, so far it's going good. We're trying to showcase our activity and keep our activism going on, even no matter how hard the situation is. So yeah, that's all the milestones from 2030 Youth Force India. Thank you.
Thank you, India. About foreign Philippines.
So, for the Philippines, we actually launched a bunch of initiatives online. So, first we had the Humans for SDGs, which is the podcast. So, we invited some of our member advocates, our ambassadors, some of them actually started their own initiatives this past few months, and we got from them the experience that they have and the initiative that they were able to establish during this time. And one of our main projects for the rest of the year is actually a virtual summit and hackathon. It's called the SDG Bayanihan Summit. And leading up to that, we've held a series of educational discussions with different sectors to talk about how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the Philippines' progress towards achieving the SDGs. Since we are in the decade of action, ideally efforts should be ramping up or scaling up in achieving the SDGs. However, we are in the middle of a pandemic, so progress has been affected. And because those sessions are in with other sectors, we have identified like points of partnerships and collaboration between these different sectors. And it's very encouraging to see them taking the initiative to collaborate with each other, because that's really what we need at a time like this to be able to achieve the SDGs by 2030. So those are the main initiatives that we've had the past few months.
Wonderful. How about for you, Shreya?
So from Nepal, we did a couple of things online. So firstly, we did a awareness program virtually, mainly targeting on informative videos about COVID-19 among community people, and and our surroundings. So basically, avoiding our neighbors or online friends and having a chit chat with one another's. It was a basic theme of the program that was designed previously. So we had an online virtual talk and awareness program. Secondly, we had a webinar that mainly focused on May 28th about the dignified menstruation that we uh, partnered with the other youth-led organizations, and it was an exclusive initiatives as well as it covered a national level platform. So we did broadcast on radio and reached 77 districts of Nepal. So it was a national level program, and it was covered in a national daily newspaper. So we reached around approximately 5,000 people online, and we broadcasted information on radio of each 4 series. It was 4 days and it was in series. We targeted about the awareness program during the COVID-19 and particularly focused on women's health and adolescent girls and the role of men in such circumstances. So we brought our speakers, level speakers, and other. We partnered with other international organizations as well. So adding to this, we are also heading towards the mental health campaign, awareness campaign that Nepal chapter is partnered with other youth-led organizations. So we have been doing a couple of things, and with the guidance of Linka, our sweetheart, we from 2030 Youth First, Asim and I was a part of Movers Workshop, which is an ecosystem of social entrepreneurship. So we had a 3 month long fellowship representing in this chapter. So yeah, we have been doing a couple of things from chapter Nepal.
Thanks, Shreya.
Welcome.
Okay. So, right. For our next question right now, given the uncertainties and as mentioned, we're not really sure until when this virus will be spreading across the world, and we are just really hoping for the best, as you guys mentioned a while ago. What could be, what will be the future of the SDGs, specifically in your national chapters? What are your plans in the next couple of months? This is the perfect time where you could plug your campaigns, your activities, and of course to promote the youth force in your countries, and maybe for other non-youth force members who are living in non-youth force countries, maybe they could, this is the perfect time that you guys could pitch youth force so they could also launch youth force in their countries. Okay, let's start with Vietnam.
Okay, so unfortunately, after like 99 COVID-free day, we have like new cases, and the number of cases has jumped from over 300 to over 800 after like 2 weeks something. So we might be back to like locking down everything. So our plan has changed because of the situation again. But we are still trying to do some more like youth little talk in which we're gonna invite like professional people who have like experience in different activities, such as like fundraising or how to manage like organization. So we're gonna do like maybe webinar to share a little bit more about how the youth leaders can do that, especially in the situation of COVID-19 pandemic. And we also want to improve our youth leader share, as I mentioned before. So we create a group with many like youth leaders and share with them like some news or skills, like how they can improve themselves as a leader. And we want to improve that as well for the next 6 months. And also we gonna have like SDG youth engagement summit. So the summit plan to be like gathering everyone so we can work together, and also like another national meeting as well. But maybe due to the pandemic, we might need to utilize some kind of online platform to gather everyone. But I believe that even like in this such hard, difficult, challenging situation, we can still manage to work together And I would love to invite some of the other chapter representative, if possible, to come and share with Chapter Vietnam about your experience or how we can like work together to encourage youth in Asia Pacific to understand a little bit more about SDG and take action for SDG as well. So, of course, for a pitch, if other country who has not have youth force yet, please become one of our member, one of our chapter, and we can work together toward the SDG as well.
Thank you. Okay, let's call in Nepal on the last one because she'll be announcing not really the plan but the idea of something by September. Okay, let's go to Keshav for India.
Haha. So, yeah, first of all, thanks to Quarantalk platform that, as a part of expansion team for 2030 Youth Force, that we can, how to say, promote Youth Force to different part of the world. So, yeah, I think for 2030 Youth Force India, um, our future plans will be somewhere around because recently we got hit by floods, some of our states. So it's going to be something around it. We're trying to come up again with a donation drive, although because we cannot go there and help the people who got hit by floods. So yeah, maybe through monetary help and all those things and providing them daily essential stuff. So yeah, that would be it's going on. It's still planning, although we are on resting mode for some time because we recently ended up with a hectic schedule of summer school. So I think for next almost a week or two, we not gonna do anything. People are just enjoying with their family. So yeah, then I think we're gonna take the movers as mentioned by Shreya. So we're gonna take movers to more regions of India and trying to collaborate with different schools and institutes to promote movers and give training on social entrepreneurship and telling them about SDGs and all these stuff. So yeah, I think these are the future plans. It's not yet fixed, but yeah, so far it's like that. So yeah, that's all.
Yay.
Thank you, Keshav. Let's go to Sabrina. Sab for the Philippines.
Yes. For the 2030 Youth Fairs in the Philippines, as I mentioned earlier, we are planning the SDG Bayanihan Summit, which is a virtual summit and hackathon for the youth and to collaborate on and develop sustainable solutions for the global goals. And you can visit our Facebook page, SBS Bayanihan Summit, for updates on that. But also leading up to that event, we're also holding the SDG dialogue. So this dialogues are based on the pillars. So we've already done the prosperity and the people pillars. So we have our next sessions will be on the peace pillar and the planet pillar on August 22 and September 5. So please watch out for that and continue to support our other initiatives on our Facebook page and listen to our podcast, Humans for SDGs. It's on Spotify and Apple Music.
Wonderful. Okay, lastly, of course, Nepal.
Thank you. Thank you, Jules. So from Nepal, we are initiating with our prime focus on mental health. So now we are starting our social media campaign on to our youths more on their mental health issues and be strong mentally and tackle the situations so that they could read a post, they could read a quote that could make their day, their morning with a positive vibe. So we are heading towards social media campaign, and after that we will be calling national speakers or the one who have really who have fought for their life and their struggles, sharing their experiences, stories of dedication and motivating youth. So we are heading in steps, particularly for mental health with social media campaign speakers, and then we will be conducting psychosocial counseling sessions online so that the ones who are really in need during this situation can assess their experts and can them. So if the situation becomes normal and we can go on field activities, we are also planning for community sessions, community counseling targeting marginalized groups. So we are heading towards with basic focus on mental health from Nepal. And yes, talking about the movers program, Nepal have done 2 workshops previously, and we will also be carrying it in the future as well. The movers workshop among the school students, among the youth, so that they could have a basic knowledge of social entrepreneurship and they could form their own ecosystem with innovation. So yeah, that's the main focus we are having on. And talking about the September that Jules already mentioned, so we are coming up something exciting from September 19 to 25 with each national chapter showcasing their ideas in their national chapters, and also we'll be calling out youths so that we can interact about the sustainable development goals, about the global week of action, to make our role more important in the future as well, the way we can contribute for one another. So yes, whoever and people who are watching out there, do follow our Facebook page, U2030 Youth First main page, and of all the national chapters of India, Vietnam, Nepal, Philippines, China, Cambodia, so that you could be updated about the programs for the future and you could be part of our programs as well.
That's right. Thank you so much, Shrey and everyone. As mentioned by their very quick pitch a while ago, this is the perfect time that we could also help you guys. If you are living in a country without a youth force, we could help you guys establish a youth force in your country. Just message us on the 2030 Youth Force page. And as mentioned by Shreya, September is it's like an SDG month because it's the Global Week of Action by what date are those again? 19 to
September 19 to 25.
19 to 25. So we are trying to brew something from the 2030 Youth Force Asia Pacific with the help, of course, of the national chapters. Okay, yeah, let's proceed with our next segment. The Ambag. How do you say Ambag in English? Contribution.
Contribution.
Yeah. So it's like the contributions of the youth. Right. Yeah. So here in Ano ang Ambag mo? What is your contribution? Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So every evening, for every episode, we feature different call to action for young people, for our viewers also, on what they can do in response to the pandemic. This time, because we're with the 2030 Youth Force Network, we would want to feature My World 360. So you can just go to the website, SDG campaign. Let me flash that there. You can see that on your screen. You can submit your multimedia materials just using your mobile phones. You can show how you see the SDGs and the different storytelling, using different storytelling techniques with just your mobile phone. Show something immersive. It's an immersive storytelling to shine a spotlight on some of the pressing issues and relevant issues, especially in your localities, in your communities. So there, join this SDG Action Campaign initiative, My World 360. So please visit the website for the mechanics and how you can submit your multimedia materials. There you go.
All right, wonderful. So we have let's maximize our space online because it's the only space that we have right now because of the virus. And another contribution, let's all watch this.
travel ka, gumala ka naman, hindi yung travel ka to work, after work ulit.
Yay! Surprise, surprise! Happy birthday, Aya!
Happy birthday!
Okay, Aya, what's your message
Thank
to
you.
your friend? Go ahead.
To myself, to my friend. No, thank you so much to everyone who greeted me on my birthday. I don't like the spotlight on me, but
Okay.
let's bring back the others. But thank you for that spotlight. I think we have friends from different countries watching us tonight, so that's kind of too much spotlight for me. But thank you to the 2030 Stars network in the Philippines and across the region for giving us a platform to explore our skills. I've been with the Youth Force since 2016. I'm one of the founding members of the national chapter in the Philippines that Jules recruited. And I've personally experienced growth, and I've seen many young people in the Philippines and in other chapters who were able to really grow and explore their skills and potentials with the platforms that we are creating. So thank you to the founding members of the Youth Force for building this platform for everyone. And we hope to see more relevance and excellence in our work. There's a greater challenge for us young people in this time of pandemic. We are affected, but at the same time, for those who have the energy to work and to contribute something, I hope that we could do more for our countries. Hopefully, we'll get to reach everything that the 17 goals by 2030. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the spotlight
Thank
for today.
you. And of course, happy birthday, Aya. And thank you so much for your wonderful job as the convener of the 2030 Youth Force here in the Philippines. You're really doing a very fantastic job. So, onwards, padayon. Okay. So, there you have it. By the way, that video was created by Nina and collated with her archives of videos. Okay, thank you so much, Nina, for this collab. Okay, so there you have it. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being here, and we hope that this is just we are just beginning to further build on the growth of the youth force in the Asia Pacific, so we could reach more countries in the future. Thank you so much. Okay, so there you have it. Aya, go ahead.
There, thank you. See you again next time. We air Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But we hope to see you again here on QuaranTalk Media, especially for Filipino viewers. We have a lineup of shows every 9 p.m. on weeknights. So tune in to QuaranTalk Media. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/QuaranTalk Media, and our YouTube channel, QuaranTalk Media. Thank you so much. Follow us on. Let's take down that greeting and let's show
Okay.
again our website. I'm so sorry. There, 2030youthforce.org. If you want to learn more about the network, you can also visit our Facebook page, 2030 Youth Force. And there, we hope to collaborate with more of you next time. Thank you so much
Right.
for joining us. This is Aya Antonio, Jules Guiang.
Yeah, it's our season ender on Monday. So better watch out for our new plans for Quarant Talk starting on Monday. So thank you so much. I'm Jules Guiang. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Jules Guiang. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
All
All
right.
right. So,
Take care.
kita,
Bye bye.
kita, kita ulit tayo next
Bye.
time, guys. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.
See you. Thank you.
Okay, so kita-kita ulit tayo dito sa daldalang walang curfew.
Usapang hindi nala-lockdown. Ito po ang QuaranTalk. Good night.
Good night.
Happy birthday, Aya.
Thank you.